some kind of object for today's workout. It could be a dumbbell or a kettlebell if you have a weight, or it could be something as simple as a shoe, a water bottle, a soup can, something along those lines. This is what we are working towards. We're starting off with a 10-minute AMRAP of a Turkish Get Up and a Windmill. We'll do 1 and 1 on each side, just working through that for 10 minutes. We'll go over those movements pretty slowly at the beginning here, so you get a little bit of a feel for them. Then the second part of the day, we're doing 2 rounds, 6-minute AMRAP of 20 mountain climbers, 10 overhead lunges on the right, 10 overhead lunges on the left, and then 20 push-ups. So you'll go through those 4 movements as many times as you can in 6 minutes, then we'll rest for 3 minutes, and then repeat the same section for 6 minutes again. Cool? That's what we're doing. It's gonna be a blast. Go ahead and find your way to standing for me. And we're gonna start with 5 lunges each side. So you're gonna reach your hands up overhead, take a nice big lunge, step out, and then stand back up 5 times each side. Nice big stretchy lunges. Let those arms reach up and back so you're getting some stretch through your shoulders, your back, as well as your hips. 5 aside. Feel free to throw in some twisting if that feels good to you. Ten total lunges, 5 aside. Once you get through that, you're gonna give me 10 good mornings, hinging at the hip, squeezing your butt, standing up, trying to get some prep into those hamstrings. Trying to keep your back flat as you work through this. Some of us, that may mean a shorter range of motion, and that's okay. Just a nice soft bend in your knees, and then stand. 10 of those, guys. And from there, we're gonna keep our feet a little bit wider so you can scoot them out probably a little bit. And you're gonna grab 5 circles with your head each direction. Again, you'll feel that in your hamstring, and then starting to get some movement through your side body as well. So really exaggerating this kind of stretch. You'll do 5 one way, and then 5 back the other way. Get into your side body and your hamstrings there. Beautiful job. Next, we're gonna keep those feet wide from here. I'm gonna bow forward, do that same thing. I'm gonna reach my right hand to my left foot, and then left hand to right foot. And I'm just gonna switch nice and quick, keeping my body hinged over. I'll do that 10 times each side. I always find this one really hard to count. So just do your best, about 10 aside. And once you get through that, we're gonna grab 3 inchworms. So you can keep those feet wide or bring them back together. You're gonna bow forward, bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands on the ground, and then walk out to a plank position from here. You can do a push-up from your knees or your toes, and then you're gonna walk your hands back to your feet. You'll do that 3 times. 3 total inchworms. Just a plain old push-up at the bottom. Once you get through your last one of those, we'll come back to the ground for a tabletop position. So finding shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we're gonna grab 5 circles each way. Just rolling those shoulders over the wrists. Feeling some movement through your wrists. 5 each way. And we're gonna stay in that tabletop type position. We're just gonna turn the backs of our hands to the ground And just kind of work into that. You can rock a little front to back, or maybe you just kind of hang out here. Maybe a little movement side to side. Just a little bit of stretch going the opposite way. And you'll relax. You're gonna give me 5 shifts from down dog to up dog, sinking those hips to the ground. So going from hips up and back to hips down, shoulders up. Do that 5 times, in and out of those shapes. And some movement through that spine. Then we'll get a little deeper into our hips. You're gonna grab 2 more groiners each side, so bringing 1 foot forward, just a little deeper stretch than that lunge variation earlier. 1 foot forward. From here, you can rock your hips back, you can twist, you can drop your forearms down. When you're ready, you'll just switch opposite leg forward. Same thing, whatever feels good. 2 times each side on those groiners. Last thing we're gonna do before we start moving into building our Turkish Get Up and our Windmill, we're gonna do 3 T push-ups each way, or 6 total. So you're gonna do a push-up, and then you're gonna reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, and then you'll do a push-up, reach your left arm up. You'll do 3 each way. If you need to drop to your knees for that, you can, and you can always keep your knee down as you come into that side plank position. But 3 each side of that. Good job. Try to keep that belly tight on those push-ups. Once you get through that, you're gonna come on to your back sides. We're gonna go through the Turkish Get Up together. So if you feel super comfortable with this movement, you can do this portion with a little bit of weight in hand. If you're like, I have not done this in a minute, or maybe ever, then I would stick to just reaching your hand up overhead, or we could use something super light like a shoe in our hand. Try and do that with an open palm, or you could even rest it on your fists. We're gonna start on our left side. So we're gonna take your left arm overhead, pressing it straight up towards the ceiling. You're gonna bend your left knee, and your right arm's gonna go out at a 45-degree angle. So I don't want it glued to your body, and I don't want it way out. I want that 45-degree angle. From here, you're gonna reach that left arm up towards the ceiling and roll to your right forearm. Then you're gonna sit up to your right palm. Then you're gonna lift your hips up really high and slide your right knee to your right hand. Then you're gonna sit up to a lunge. And then you're gonna stand up tall. Okay, and we're gonna do that opposite on the way back. So come on up to standing if you're not there already. Stand on up. From here, we're gonna do the reverse. We're gonna step our right knee back, drop our right knee to the ground. Then you're gonna bring your right hand to your hip and find the floor. Then you're gonna lift your hips up, slide your right leg forward, drop to your butt, drop to your forearm, drop to your shoulder. And then we'll switch sides. So right arm up, left hand to the side, roll to your left forearm, your left palm. Then you're gonna push into the floor, pick your hips up, pull your left knee back by your left hand. Good, then sit up to a lunge. And then you stand up tall. And reverse on the way back down. Left foot back, left knee down, hand to your hip, find the floor. Hips up, left leg through, find your butt cheek, find your left elbow, and then down. Beautiful. That is your Turkish Get Up. So that's kind of part 1. When we get to the top of our Turkish Get Up, we're gonna do a windmill. Go ahead, come on back up to standing. We'll go through this part separately. I want you to be able to see my upper body. So what I'm gonna do is slide my feet about a little wider than hip width, and I'm gonna turn both of my toes to the right. From there, I'm gonna have my left arm up overhead. So imagine I've just done a Turkish get up on my left side. My left arm's up overhead. I'm gonna then push my hips to the left, reach my hand down my right leg, still keeping that left hand pointed straight up, and then I'm gonna stand back up. Bicep always covers the ear. We're gonna try that 5 times on your left side. Good. It's okay if we have a little bend in our knee. It's okay if we don't go all the way to the ground. And then you're gonna do it on your right side 5 times. So reach your right arm up, toes to the left. So we're just flipping everything the other way. Hips to the right, left hand down, right arm up, and then stand back up. 5 times on the right side. Good job. Guys look great. Okay, so we're gonna do a Turkish get up. At the top of your Turkish get up, I've just finished, I've stood up, then I'm gonna turn my toes, I'm gonna do my windmill, and then I'm gonna work my way, whoops, back down to the ground to finish the Turkish get up, okay? 10-minute AMRAP of 1 and 1. I will talk you through the first rep on each side. If you don't need it, don't feel like you have to move at that pace. But if you do, I'll be talking you through it, okay? Let's do it. 10 seconds. Let's all start on the right side if you're gonna be working through it with me. So you're gonna come to your back, right arm up overhead, right knee to the ceiling, hand out, left hand out at a 45-degree angle. Roll up to your left forearm, your left palm, pick your hips up, pull your left knee to your left hand. Sit up to a lunge. Step your left foot up to meet the right. From here, widen your feet and turn your toes to the left. Then you're gonna push your hips to the right, left hand down, right arm still reaching up. Stand back up tall. From there, you're gonna step the left foot back, left knee down, left hand to the ground. Left foot comes up and through, down to your bottom, down to your left forearm, left shoulder, and then switch sides. Okay, we'll do the opposite side together again. Left arm up, left knee to the ceiling, right hand out. Roll up to your right forearm, right palm. Hips up, right knee to right hand. Sit up to a lunge. Stand all the way up. Widen your feet. Turn your toes to the right. Hips to the left. Right arm down. Stand up tall. From here, right knee steps back. Right hand to the ground. Hips come through. Down to our butts. Down to our forearm. Shoulders and down. Beautiful. We're already about 2 minutes in, so keep on playing with it. Good, Robin. Good job. Nice job, David. If you guys have different options for weights and it's feeling super easy and you're able to move up as we go, that's a great way to make this a little more challenging as we go through. If you're stuck with one weight, then just try to stick with it. What do you need? It's right here. What would you do without me?
Nothing. I'm out of here.
Where are you going?
Store.
What store? Good job, guys. Good job, Jordan. One thing I'm seeing from some people when you're setting up at the ground, make sure that hand is out at a 45-degree angle. There's a tendency to want to move it way out back by your shoulder, and that sets you up for kind of an awkward position here. So we want to make sure that hand is out at a 45-degree angle. It's going to be more in line with my hips as I sit up to this position, to that lunge. Good, Liam. Hips up and back, Robin. Nice job. Beautiful. Remember, guys, those feet can slide a little wider when you're going into your windmill. Guys are doing great. Nice little bit of core and shoulder stability work here. That's why we do these movements. Nice job, Emily. Good work, guys. We are moving and grooving, and we're halfway through these 10 minutes, just about halfway through. Good job, Emma. As we're getting into the second half, if you guys are feeling like those windmills aren't doing too much for you, if you want to add a couple reps each time, instead of just doing one windmill, you could do more like 3 or 5, just upping the reps a little bit to get a little more out of those windmills if they're feeling pretty easy for you, especially if you're working with a weight that's maybe a little bit lighter. Feel free to throw in a couple of windmills if you want to practice that a little bit more. If you're into what you're doing, then stick to it. That's cool too. We are in the home stretch. We've just got 3 minutes to go. Most of us, that's going to be somewhere in the range of like 6 to 8 reps total, 3 or 4 aside. So aiming to get that done this last little bit here. Great job, Emma. Good job, Jordan. Nice work, David. Job, Robin. Keep pressing that arm tall, guys. Some of you maybe not working with too much weight. We still want to think about reaching that arm tall, locking it out, not having a soft bend in our elbow. Imagining one day that we do have weight in our hand, that we want to be stacking those shoulders, stacking all of our joints. That's a nice, strong position. Just 1 minute left, time for maybe one more rep each side. And then we'll get into our workout. Home stretch, maybe even it out. If you're already feeling even and good, don't want to start another, maybe you're grabbing a quick drink. 15 seconds, last reps. Three, two, one, and time. 10 minutes. Good job. So this is what we are working through for part 2. I'll show you again once we go through all the movements, but just another reminder, 2 rounds, 6-minute AMRAP of 20 mountain climbers, 20 overhead lunges on the right, 20 overhead lunges on the left, 20 push-ups, and then 3-minute rest after 6 minutes. So we'll do that for 6 minutes. I'd say most people are getting like 3 or 4 rounds, and then we'll rest for 3 minutes before repeating a second time through. Any questions before we get started going over those movements? Cool. Let's do it. So we're going to start with our first movement, the mountain climber. So go ahead and find your way to a plank position, shoulders over wrists. From here, I'm going to bring one foot forward, one leg's going to be back. I'm just going to jump and switch sides. I can do it that way, or I can just kind of bring my knee into my chest instead and not really have that foot tap down. It's going to depend a little bit on your mobility, what feels more comfortable. But give me 10 mountain climbers. If you wanted to make that movement a little bit easier on you, you could always elevate your hands to change the angle and do your high knees or knees towards chest that way. That would just change up that angle, make it a little easier on you. Next is our overhead lunges. This is kind of part of the Turkish Get Up. So go ahead, head back up to standing. And you're going to take your weight or your shoe or just your hand. You're going to reach up overhead with it. From here, you're going to step out into a lunge and then stand back tall. And then you'll repeat on the other side. Tap the knee down, stand back up, keeping the arm locked. Go ahead, give me 4 lunges with the right arm overhead and then 4 lunges with the left arm overhead. Doing your best to get that knee down to the ground. And that just to get that full range of motion. Other thing I'm looking for is your knee to stay stacked over your ankle rather than your knee being out in front. So taking that step big enough, it could be back or forward, but we want that knee over the ankle as much as we can. You'll do 10 lunges with the right arm overhead, 10 lunges with the left arm overhead. If you don't really have something to do the overhead lunge with, then you're just doing 20 lunges total. Go ahead, make your way back down to the ground. Last movement is our push-up. So I'm gonna come for now, can start from our knees. I'm gonna bring my shoulders forward. So at the bottom of that push-up, my elbow is on top of my wrist. If I wanna make that tougher, I'll go to my toes and do the same thing for my toes. I could go somewhere in between by elevating my hands onto a chair, a couch, a table. Go ahead, give me 5 push-ups right now. Beautiful. And we will get this thing going in about a minute. So one last reminder on what we're doing. Ignore the top part. 2 rounds, 6-minute AMRAP, 20 mountain climbers, 10 overhead lunges right, 10 overhead lunges left, or 20 lunges total, and then 20 push-ups. We'll do that for 6 minutes, 3-minute rest, and repeat. Yeah. If you have a question, please feel free to unmute yourself or ask a question into the chat area. Otherwise, we'll get going in about 60 seconds, grabbing any last stretch, drink, bathroom break that you need. And we'll get going shortly. Having so much fun. Okay. Looks like we're mostly ready. We'll give people another moment. Kitty visits. All right, guys, throw out some thumbs up when you're ready to go. Good, good, good. Let Emma get back in here. Cool. All right, guys. Let's do this. Nope. Starting in 10 seconds. Who let you back inside? Going in 3, 2, 1. Mountain climbers. 20 mountain climbers to start. Again, you can elevate those hands if you need to. Take some pressure off those wrists. 20 mountain climbers to start. Then you have 10 lunges with your right arm up overhead. You can do 5 each leg here just to keep yourself balanced. And then you'll do 10 with the left arm overhead. Good job, Robin. Let's go, Emily. Remember, I'm trying to keep that arm locked out, nice and active, shoulder. Think about bicep covering your ears. After your 10 lunges each side, you're going down to push-ups. 20 total push-ups. If those are going to slow you way down, maybe we drop the reps down slightly to something that we can keep going a little bit faster on, rather than taking 4 of the 6 minutes to do our push-ups every round. You guys are already 2 minutes in. Doing great. Good job, Jordan. Trying to keep those elbows going out at that 45-degree angle, chest still touching the deck or the chair or whatever object. Good job, Emma. Let's go, Betty. When you finish your push-ups, you're back to mountain climbers, then back to your lunges, etc. 6 total minutes on this AMRAP. Good job, Jordan. Let's go, David. Keep it up. Good job, guys. Let's go, guys. Stay with it. Just a nice, smooth pace. The further we get into this, maybe a little bit smarter with those push-up sets, dropping them down a little bit smaller, conserving some energy. Let's go, Robin. Keep it up, Emily. Guys, have less than 2 minutes left on portion number 1, 6-minute interval 1 of 2. Good job, Jordan. Let's go, David. Stay with it. Keep it up, Liam. Last minute, and we get a little break coming up. Go, Betty. Stay with it. Keep working, guys. Almost there. Get a couple more reps in. Try to use as much of this last little bit of time, just 15 seconds. Three, two, one, rest. Good job, guys. 3 minutes here to catch our breath a little bit. If you were counting how far you got on that portion, maybe you enter it into the chat area if you want to say how many rounds you got. Your goal is to do the same or more next time around. I'd also recommend in this time starting to grab a little stretch. So I could do this from my backside or from my butt, taking my ankle across the body and pulling my knee into my chest for a little pigeon. Or I could do that from the ground here, taking that ankle across the body into that pigeon there. I would take somewhere in the range of 5 to 10 breaths in that position and switch sides. Great job, Emma. Just to use this rest to kind of take care of our bodies and be able to hit the second half hard. We've got 6 more minutes of work, 2 more minutes of rest till we get after it. If your shoulders are feeling a little tight, maybe we're grabbing some scorpions, teeing those arms out, and then opening up, getting into your chest a little bit more. Great option to get into your shoulders. Just do whatever you need to recover some before we get back to it. Robin, think about reaching that left arm out straight ahead to the side instead of overhead. Yeah, that'll get a little deeper stretch. Other way. Yeah. Almost like you're folding yourself in half. That left arm goes out, right leg reaches towards it. Right arm out, left leg reaches towards it. Going again, just under a minute. You guys will start back on the mountain climbers, so we aren't starting wherever you left off. You're starting back at the mountain climbers. So we can compare again from that first 6 minutes to this 6 minutes, how we do. Guys are going in 15 seconds. 10. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Back to mountain climbers. Right back to the start. Second 6 minute interval here. And your last 6 minute interval. Had a nice break to recover. Goal is to get back to those same number of rounds from our first interval. Got lunges, overhead lunges after your mountain climbers. Ten aside. Then push-ups are next. Job, Jordan. Let's go, guys. See if you can push that pace a little bit this second time around. You know what it's gonna feel like. See if you can find a little bit faster pace than that first time around. Good job, Robin. Let's go, Emma. Keep it up, Emily. Great reps. Trying to stay consistent with our technique as well as our speed. I'd rather see you slow down a little bit and still be moving really well than going faster and maybe losing some of that movement integrity. Guys are doing great. Let's go, David. Stay with it, Betty. Guys are about halfway there. Halfway to our 6 minute AMRAP being done. Try to pick up the pace this second half. I know you're getting tired. Good job, Liam. Try to push through that mental barrier. Going a little bit faster than you think you should, a little bit faster than is comfortable. Let's go, Emily. Stay with it. Keep it up, Emma. Good job, David. Keep getting those reps in, guys. Less than 2 minutes now. Trying to get in maybe at least one more round. Let's go, Jordan. Stay with that home stretch here. Let's go, David. Keep it up, buddy. Good job, Robin. Guys, have just 1 minute to go. Let's go, guys. Home stretch. Make those rest intervals as short as possible. Try to keep moving the majority of this final minute. Good work, guys. Get a couple more reps in. Just 30 seconds left. Good job, Liam. Let's go, Emma. Stay with it, Jordan. Good job, Emily. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time. Good job, guys. You did it. That is all I have for you guys from the fitness side today. I would encourage you to go back into that pigeon stretch again. Maybe 5 to 10 breaths again each side, just grabbing that last little stretch. Giving your body some love after that workout. Otherwise, have a super day. Great work.